Wars games, one of the most diverse series of games in history. From classics to modern games, Star Wars games have been around for literal decades. In that time, many things have changed while many have stayed the same. Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today I will be covering the magic of Star Wars games in my opinion. But first, let's quickly review each one I own. But what games do I own? The Star Wars licensed games I own are Republic Commando, Battlefront 2, 2005, Battlefront 2, 2017, Battlefront 2015, Jedi Fallen Order, and LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga. It should also be mentioned I own Star Wars Shadows of the Empire, and some other older games too, though I have not ever played any of them. Therefore, they will not be honored in this video. So let's start dissecting each game, starting with Battlefront 2, 2005. I don't care if this game is 16 years old. This game is extremely fun. I mean, what's not to like about a game where you can play as a lowly stormtrooper or the Jedi Master Kit Fisto? This game is simple, but simple does not mean bad. This game makes that very clear. You can play on Mustafar, the Jedi Temple, on Coruscant, and even Bespin. And this game, even by today's standards, has more than enough content to make every session fresh and enjoyable. In fact, I think some of the content in this game should really be in 2017's Battlefront 2, such as the Magna Guard and Clone Marine, Mustafar, and Coruscant. Overall, this game is very fun, especially because canon was not as tight then as it is nowadays, making some really fun units. I would talk about this game's campaign, though I have never played it, but from what I've heard, the game's campaign is very, very good. LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga. This game is notorious for a number of reasons, one of them being the cutscenes and mumbling rather than actual dialogue. Now let's talk about the combat. This game's combat is very straightforward. Hold the attack button to block with a lightsaber, press the interaction button to perform your force ability, and jump and attack in the air to slam. That being said, this game is fun. It isn't focused on combat. The game is about solving fun puzzles or doing some challenges for mini-kits. There are some fun combat rules too, such as Count Dooku's lightning, which can only be performed on non-droid enemies. Something this game has that many others don't is almost infinite replayability, with sections with challenges beyond the original level's characters, meaning that you may not have a character with the Force while playing on a level on story mode, so you have to go into free play with a Force-sensitive character to do the challenge then. The prizes of these challenges are mini-kits or red bricks. I love this game because it isn't just Star Wars, it's LEGO Star Wars, meaning I can play as a stormtrooper in a bathing suit. Overall, this game is full of magic, fun, and especially simplicity. The game is well known and has a deserved good reputation. Republic Commando. This game is very difficult. In fact, getting gameplay of this game was extremely difficult. This is not, however, a bad thing. Republic Commando is much grittier than your average game. The fact of the matter is that you are the commander of an elite squad of clones sent out on the hardest and dirtiest jobs. And the deaths in Republic Commando are more sincere than Battlefront games because when you die in Battlefront games, you just ragdoll on the ground. But in Republic Commando, deaths are actually kind of sad.
3-8, can you hear me? I'm reading low vital signs from your squad.
Overall, Republic Commando has a compelling story with good, well-written characters, and is a ton of fun to play. The game also has couch co-op, a feature which many games nowadays are missing. Even during the virus, sitting on the couch with your brother or sister and 1v1ing is a great way to have fun and pass time. Star Wars Battlefront 2015. I don't have much to say about this game. I haven't played it all that much, and therefore take nothing I say about this game too seriously. And when I do play it, it is pretty fun. If you were to ask me to rank this game to the others, it would come in last, not because it's bad, not at all. The problem with the game is that it lacks a lot of content. Even looking back at Battlefront 2, 2005, that game had the Clone Wars and Galactic Civil War as eras. And this game, made in 2015, only has the Galactic Civil War era. The gameplay overall is fun because the combat is good. And the game does have a lot of blasters to choose from. I just think that it's lacking a lot of content. And the game didn't even have a campaign. And don't think I'm just crapping on this game, because I'm not. I like the game, I just feel that it needs quite a bit more content than it has. That obviously won't be happening because the game lost support years ago. Overall, this game is good. I just think some things could be improved, like how clunky the roll controls are. The game focuses on its weapons so much that it doesn't even have reinforcements. It just has an excessive amount of blasters. That being said, I got the game and all the DLC for $5 on the Xbox store, so it definitely wasn't a waste of money. On top of that, the visuals and sound effects are beautiful. Battlefront 2, 2017. My favorite game of all time, here it is. Star Wars Battlefront 2 has a redemption story like no other. It started off with a horrendous pay-to-win loot box system, but today the game is a complete, beautiful, and magical game. The gameplay throughout is almost perfect. The infantry gameplay is not as good as that of the infantry gameplay in Battlefront 2015, with less blasters. That being said, the blasters in Battlefront 2 are much more interesting and diverse than those in Battlefront 2015. Let's get into the reinforcements. Reinforcements are basically infantry on steroids. There's even one with a minigun as their primary, the Ovasian Gunner. The reinforcements in Battlefront 2, new and old, are both some of the best aspects. Being a reinforcement is being a powerful unit who's meant to be expendable, unlike heroes who are less expendable by a large margin. Only 2 heroes can be out on the battlefront for every team. I would get to some more aspects of the game, though covering all the content in this game would take much longer than this video's runtime. One thing I will cover is the campaign, if you will. This campaign was just awful with a predictable and lackluster story and forgettable awful characters. Overall, Battlefront 2 2017 is a satisfying and beautiful action-packed game. With all the eras of Star Wars, and even if the campaign is bad, the rest of the game is awesome and polished. Now that I've reviewed each game I own a tad bit, I'll be talking about why Star Wars games are so magical. The reinforcements. As I already mentioned while talking about Battlefront 2 2017, the reinforcements in the Battlefront games are some of the best parts in Star Wars gaming. The reinforcements are quite obviously for reinforcing objectives in the team, but in Battlefront 2 2017, reinforcements can't interact with certain objects around the map. There are turrets on certain maps which only infantry can interact with, forcing reinforcements to use their kit, and that in turn forces the reinforcements to push the objective rather than camp at a turret. Reinforcements are great, but now let's talk about the maps and locations. The locations in Star Wars games are immersive and beautiful, each packed with little details, and all the maps stay as faithful as they possibly can to their original lore. While maps do differ from Star Wars game to Star Wars game, one thing remains the same. Every single map in every single Star Wars game I own has atmosphere. Some have ships in flight, while others have posts with helmets and blasters laid out. Overall, maps and locations in Star Wars games are awesome, and I feel maps are important in almost any game. The weapons. The weapons in Star Wars games are very important for obvious reasons. Different lightsabers, abilities, and blasters really add to the games. Certain lightsabers in Battlefront 2 do a certain amount of damage, but usually the slower the swing speed, the higher the damage output, and vice versa. In Jedi Fallen Order, it is a little bit similar. There are certain slow attacks in Fallen Order which do more damage than your average attack. On top of that, using a double-bladed lightsaber hits more enemies and is faster than the one-bladed lightsaber, but the double-bladed lightsaber does less damage than the regular one-bladed lightsaber, making for some very different ways to play Fallen Order. Now on to blasters. Blasters are very diverse. You could be a stormtrooper with the classic E11 that was standard issue for Imperial soldiers, or you could use a stormtrooper with a jetpack and an electricity shooting blaster. Overall, combat in Star Wars games is very different among games. Some have simple combat like LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga, while others have fantastic complicated combat such as Jedi Fallen Orders. And that is why I love Star Wars games, and you should too. They are fun and polished. If you have never played a Star Wars licensed game before, I strongly urge that you do. It'll be a great time for everyone involved. Thank you all for watching, and have a good rest of your day.